And we're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Contingencies of Care 2021. My name is Ashok Mathur. I work at OCAD, and in a moment, I'll be introducing other folks who are here and around the table. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to mention the people that aren't here because our organizing team is fairly large, and we wanted to make acknowledgement of everyone here. So behind me, as you see behind me on this side, we start with this side, yeah. There's Candice Hopkins from the Toronto Bienniale. And next to her and right above me is Andrea Fatona, also from OCAD. And next to her is Tania Willard from UBCO Okanagan. You see Lisa Myers, who's on my right, and she's here, so she'll introduce herself. In the bottom row, we have Steve Lamb from Emily Carr, who's also here, and he'll be joining us. And then we have Myung-Sun Kim, also from the Toronto Bienniale, and Peter Morin, who's also here and will be chatting for a bit, and my lovely self there as well. I just want to welcome everyone here. It's going to be an exciting month. This Contingency of Care came about last year as a response from multiple institutions to the pandemic. How could we get artists together to think and work on concepts of care in very, very difficult times? So that was how this really came about. And we have an incredibly exciting lineup of guest artists who are going to be presenting work and presenting workshops and talking to us about many, many things in this bucket of care. And we have a very exciting and very generous set of RA teams from both Emily Carr and from OCAD as well. And Masha, who is here who's leading up that team, will also speak to that. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to pass it on to Steve Lamb, and he's going to speak to us from his perspective.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve from Emily Carr. So thrilled that we are, this is a sequel of sorts. Sometimes we tend to overestimate the first, so it's actually wonderful that we're doing this the second time. What comes after is always equally important than what's the exceptional number one, right? So we're so grateful to be involved with this collective, with this group residency. This year has been filled with so much heartbreak and struggle. So whatever we can do to model and foster a net of collectives, right? A net of individuals that can remind us that creative practices need not be solo practices, right? We need work that can connect us to the world. We need reminders and conversations that can propel us to be experimental and playful and intellectual, and also reminders with our community that the power of resistance, the power of communion, the power of creativity is an important social force. So we're thrilled. I'm personally thrilled, and I've taken much solace with this group to be propped up and also supported in finding deep nourishment and a sense of care, but also a sense of purpose from this group. So we hope that you will enjoy and also be inspired by the guest speakers and the various panels. So thanks everyone. Looking forward to the conversations.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Ashok. My name is Peter Morin, and I'm from the Crow clan of the Tahltan Nation. And it's really a privilege to have a chance to share these thoughts with you today. It's really a privilege to hear my friends who are on the organizing team share their words today. I also want to just, say out loud how, much like what Steve shared, how it's such a privilege to be a part of a community, to be a part of network, to be a part of a kinship. for the organizers who aren't in the room, I just have so much respect for everything that they offer to all of us in the arts community, as well as beyond the arts community. I want to also acknowledge the unimagined folks who are a part of our respective worlds. And when we're thinking about care and prioritizing a practice of care, it's also the unimagined folks and who we sometimes don't bring into these rooms with us, right? The moms, the dads, the grandmas, the grandpas, the folks that you see on the street, all of these folks are a part of our network, and they all share energy with us. And that energy helps us as artists, thinkers, makers, curators, educators to do our work. So I want to acknowledge those places. I want to also acknowledge the indigenous territories that we're all connected to, standing on, the indigenous nations that helped to lift up those territories so that we could stand together in those environments. I want to acknowledge the non-human beings as well, the ones who also are part of our networks and who share so much joy and energy with us so that we can come to these places to meet each other. The bird songs, the dogs that are at home during COVID, the cats that are at home during COVID. I saw a coyote yesterday. I never thought I'd see a coyote in the city. That coyote came to me and shared some of his or hers or their energy with me. And now I'm able to share some of that energy with you. And I love that we have a chance to think and feel and practice again, trying to deepen these ideas of what care actually can be as we move forward beyond the global pandemic, move forward beyond the lockdowns, beyond the vaccinations, the deepening of our understanding of the practice of care will also help us to remember the folks who have experienced extreme loss during this time. And we need to remember them, and we need to remember that their experiences of losing a family member to COVID, or the folks in India right now who are fighting for air to breathe. Like the artists, like Nina Simone says, the artists have a responsibility to reflect their current world and to remember. I also want to take a moment to just say that we all stand together. But we also are lifted up by such incredible people, and a practice and a prioritization of care means honoring those people who lift us up. Those people for me are ancestors. And we all have ancestors. And we all have ancestors who want to be proud of us, who want to be proud of our behavior, who want to be proud of our offerings. And we all have ancestors who work with us. So I want to acknowledge them as well. Thinking about the networks like Steve and Ashok have already offered, and I'm really super excited about this upcoming month. And thank you.
Thanks, Peter. I don't know quite what to say after that, but miigwech. So my name's Lisa Myers, and I'm artist and curator, really interested in this residency, and I participated last year, and it was a really important. It was a kind of connector with people in time of isolation. And I really appreciate what Steve and Peter have shared. really appreciate that kind of context and, setting setting us up for a good month. I work at York University, but I'm also an artist and curator that works independently, and I have really been in relating this to what Peter is talking about. I've been really interested in, artists that have done so much work in our previous in decades, and Indigenous artists in particular, and curators. And so I'm interested in learning about that and thinking about how we teach that in the academy as a way to bring a different art history or a different Indigenous art conversation to happen, or a different art conversation to happen. I'm looking forward to this. There's a few things I'm going to be participating in this month, more as a participant than a presenter, but I'm also interested in conversations with everyone that as you come in. And I've been really thinking about the gardens of that were planted by the artist, Mi'kmaq artist Mike McDonald, and so I've been researching his gardens across the country. And so what I'm thinking about right now, just in as a point of contact or a point of connection with people, is I've been really thinking about plants and language, and how to learn about plant knowledge, to build upon that in my own mind, but also with language, learning language at the same time. So I'm thinking about that. I'm really interested in that right now. And I also looking forward to the reading group and everything that all the presentations I have to offer. I grew up in Milton. It's outside of Toronto. And my mom is Anishinaabe, and my dad's English and Austrian. And so I consider, being a member of the community Beausoleil First Nation, or Chimnasing, and I am a language learner. And so I try to use my language. I try to use what I know, and so I don't know. I've been trying to work that out with my friends and artist colleagues who also are language learners. So that's also something I'm interested in. And I'm Martin Clan, and I think that's everything I wanted to say. So welcome to Contingencies of Care, and I'll turn it over to whoever's next. Miigwech.
I think I'll go next. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Ashok. Thank you, Peter. My name is Masha. I represent research assistants group from OCAD University and Emily Carr. And all of us are very lucky we got this chance to work and developing a digital space for the residency, and to prepare side activities and to make sure we have good places where participants can communicate, collaborate, and talk about care and health. And yeah, and it's very exciting, and we'll all look forward to talk to new participants, help them navigating through the spaces and through activities, and to listen to our speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Masha. Thank you, Peter, Lisa, Steve, for this, and thanks to our absent Contingencies of Care organizers as well, who are graciously behind us on the screen. That's all for now. We look forward to seeing you and participating with you on various forums, various digital forums over the next month. Very excited to see what will come out of this, and how we're going to take this forward to the next level. So thank you all for being here, and let's look forward to a month of incredible creative activity.
Take care.